Welcome back to episode 15 of Dropped Outdoors podcast. Landon, how are we doing today, my friend?
Well, until I was fighting my cable over here.
Motherfucker,
okay.
He hadn't even said a word. He's already stroking out. Like, goddamn.
It was rubbing me wrong. I didn't like it. Anyways, doing fantastic, man. Actually, Tuesday was the last day of 75 hard.
Woo, woo, woo! Can we get you a ring, ring, ring?
Oh,
That's the wrong one.
Which one is it? I hadn't used these buttons in too long. I've been kicked off.
Is it the top one? Hey!
I got kicked off the punchline too long. I don't know what buttons are.
Yeah, Bradley's a piece of shit. He comes on here and he fucking just promotes the shit out of his podcast. He's like, I'm going to promote y'all on Punchline too. Oh, I forgot.
Yeah, I forgot.
I'm sure you did.
Yep. On top of kicking me off.
Let us make all the hard decisions and do everything for you, and then you just ride our shirt tails. Son of a gun.
Yep. But anyways, man, doing fantastic. Like I said, 75 hard's done. It was kind of eye-opening, really. I'm not going to say that I'm like, oh, just so much more energy or any of that stuff. Like, I feel like about the same, pretty even kill there. But just the change in my body, the mental aspect, like, I'm still doing it. Like,
I was like, what do you think is the biggest change of Mr. Landon Scott? Magnificent mustache, Santa's little bitch, Merry Christmas, motherfucker. Like, you as a person, what is the biggest change you can take away from 75 hard that you have?
The biggest change is just the mindset aspect. Like, obviously, I'm down 35 pounds and looking a lot better than I have in a really long time.
You know, I'm going to sound a little funny boy on this one, but I walked out of this podcast room the other day and my boy had his shirt up and was flexing out. 35 years old and abs are popping, my guy. I have to say, I'm proud of you. You look like a fucking unit.
It's pretty crazy because, I mean, in reality, I'm not running out there fucking running 5 miles, 10 miles, any of that. Dude, I walk roughly about 3 miles a day. I walk it. Yeah. And then I go work out for 45 minutes to an hour and a half a
What's
day.
the rule? It's 45 minutes.
It's 45-minute outdoor exercise, 45-minute workout.
So you just do about 3 miles on average.
Yeah,
then.
that's just roughly. I mean, it's that's like 45.
Like
no,
15
45 minutes. It's like a 15-minute mile, so a little over. No, right at 3 miles an hour.
So I'm about to say, so you're not just looking at the scenery, like you're actually hoofing it a little bit. I mean, 3 mile an hour walk is not hard. It's not a lot.
No, it's nothing.
But if you go straight 3 miles at 3 miles an hour, you're moving. Like you're actually walking.
I guess it's a little more than that because three miles at 3 miles an hour is 1 hour. So I'm probably doing like 3 1/4 or 3 1/3 or something like that.
3.321 actually. I looked it up.
That's impressive.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Hey, that's another Dusty fact.
That's right. Did you know?
Did you know? But no, I mean, it's been good. Like I said, seeing the difference, feeling the mindset change. Like, that's the biggest deal. Like, as soon as I was getting close to done, I was like, no, I'm not done. Like, I'm not to where I want to be. And then on top of it, like, I want other changes at some point. So still walking, still working out, still reading, like, just sticking to it.
I'm about to say, I know like halfway through, the funny thing was the reading you hated. Yeah. You didn't want to fucking read. You were scared to read because you didn't know if you could do it. I mean, not like you couldn't read, but couldn't keep up with it. And you were halfway through, and that was the first thing you told me is like, I don't think I'll ever stop doing this.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and read 10, 20 pages a day forever. Like, I enjoy it. But now it's everything.
It's everything. And no sugar, no soda, no none of that shit. So I'm 0 caffeine, strictly water. I think the only thing I've drank outside of water is the vitamin water, 0 sugar.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I've had besides that. And, you know, I think at about 35 or 40 days, I really was like, I want to quit.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I hated my life. I was just feeling like run down, tired. I was like, this is bad. I'm not happy.
Yeah.
And then I guess I read somewhere that after about 66 days, everything becomes a habit. And I really think so, because the last week to 2 weeks of 75 hard, it changed everything.
Yeah.
Like, it just a switch flipped, and I was like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm not gonna die. I'm not pissed off. I'm okay."
Yeah. So you're just going to go forward. You're going to do everything the exact same way. Every once in a while, have a cheesecake or something if you want it, or maybe a whiskey with a cigar. But as far as eating the same, staying on routine, actually 24/7, you're just going to keep going.
I'm just going to keep going, and I think about once a month I will have a either cheat meal or cheat day, depending on what I'm feeling and how everything's going. But other than that, it's back on the horse. And obviously, if the first cheat day or whatever, or cheat meal or whatever I have, it like throws me off the next day, I may not go back to it.
Yeah.
Like if it throws me off and I'm like, no, I don't want to do this, and I start feeling like a lazy piece of shit, I just won't go back. Like,
just won't eat sweets at all.
And
no cheats.
Like I mean, obviously the meals that I have, like, I don't. I haven't ever cared. Like,
well, you eat primarily meat anyway. We've talked about that before, and like you don't eat real vegetables or anything like that, which is kind of funny because you're going like a huge health kick, and you're like, no fruits, no vegetables. Get that shit out of my face. Don't feed me what my food eats.
I think the biggest like thing that I could say is probably bad for me that I do is I still eat a lot of carbs. And you hear so many people say, "Oh, a good diet is low carb to no carb."
See, I'm gonna disagree, just because of the aspect of what carbs are. Carbs give you energy.
Yeah,
you're working out 2 times a day.
Yep.
You're not eating carbs, you're gonna be dead.
Yeah, no, I would not survive.
So, I mean, as far as what you're doing, if you keep the workout routine going, carbs ain't gonna hurt you.
Yeah, no, I can already tell that.
Yeah,
I mean, I've done it the entire time. My diet, and like I said, that's the one downfall of me doing 75 hard is I didn't stick to a strict diet, but it was no sugars or any of that, no caffeines, none of that stuff. So that was my diet per se.
Yeah,
and I mean it worked. I dropped it.
But saying I can't say you eat carnivore, but you eat
pretty damn close.
Primarily meat 24/7.
Pretty damn close.
So I mean, even like your snacks, if you're not eating sweets like cookies and shit, so you cut those out. Your snacks are like beef jerky and stuff like that.
Yep.
So I mean, in a general sense, like you eat a lot of carnivore anyway.
Yeah.
So you're normal. It's hard for you to cut a diet.
Yeah, no, I'm terrible at diets, and if I was to try to stick, say, chicken, rice, broccoli, that kind of stuff, I would go 2 or 3 or 4 weeks or whatever, and then just be like, no, this isn't worth it. It runs my body down so bad to diet that way. Like, I just don't get the energy. Yeah. There's just not enough energy in there to keep going.
So would you say there's not enough carbs in your crash diet?
That would probably be it.
Boom. Dusty is right again.
That's the thing, is the crash diets haven't ever worked. Like, I've lost pounds on them.
I'm about to say, they work great because you look great afterwards for a few months.
Yeah, but you're never going to stick to it. No. I am on something right now, I guarantee you right now, I can stick to for a year and would not be the least upset.
Well, the cool thing about what you're doing, whenever we were, off air and we talk about it, you're not doing anything real different from your normal everyday life. You cut out Dr. Peppers, which killed you.
Hurts, but...
You cut out sweets, which you said was hard, but in all just, you really don't eat a whole lot of sweets. You eat a lot of snack sweets.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like...
Candy bars and...
That probably sucked for you at certain times.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just speaking out of me knowing you our whole life.
Literally my whole life.
We have kindergarten graduation pictures together. So I wouldn't think that would kill you too much, just knowing your mindset.
Yeah.
The Dr. Peppers got me. I didn't know if you would keep with it because of that. That's why I never brought up Dr. Peppers. I never brought Dr. Peppers in here, anything, because I was like, damn, I'm going to really kick that dude in the nuts if I bring a fucking ice cold Dr. Pepper, pop it, and you see the steam coming out. I'm like, I'm going to kill him.
You know, I would think that. I'll tell you this much. So Lauren's wedding.
Yeah.
February, March? Something.
Oh,
March?
shit, I don't remember.
I don't remember. Anyways, it's back then.
She was marrying Bradley, so I tried to block that out. Worst decision she's ever made.
Oh, I thought you were going to say worst decision he ever made.
Oh, no. Lauren's wait. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Lauren is gorgeous, and you have George. Come on, bro. Lucky
and he doesn't support us.
Lucky bastard. Yeah, and he don't even support us. Fuck that guy.
Oh, man. But no, so anyways, I ended up bringing home all of the cases of Dr. Pepper and stuff to the house because they were leaving for their honeymoon. They are still in the dining room.
That's impressive.
They're all there. Hadn't even touched them. Ashley's had a couple since then, but I've been able to walk past them every day almost and shake my head and walk on.
Well, challenge accepted.
I'm like, hell yeah, bring them on, brother. You're not even going to hurt my feelings.
I'm going to bring like Dr. Pepper floats. I'm going to bring.
No, I mean, at this point.
Next week's episode brought to you by Dr. Pepper.
Hey, send me some shirts. I'd rock a shirt.
I can't drink your product anymore,
no more,
but I'll rock a shirt.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, like I said, 30 to 45 days, you might have had my ass. I might have been like, I'm done. I give up. Give me one. But as far as now, nothing phases me.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
Well, I'm proud of you.
I would have never guessed.
Well, I mean, we had friends of ours that are dedicated.
Yeah.
Fell it 100 times telling us it's hardest thing he's ever done, this, that, and the other.
Yep.
And you had a week's time frame where you sounded like him. So out of 75 days, you had 7 days basically, 7 to 10, where you're like, this is the hardest thing I've ever fucking done. I hate this. I hate myself for doing it. I'm going to stick with it, but this sucks. If it keeps going like this, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And you succeeded the very first time you have ever tried 75 hard. I don't think you realize how big of an accomplishment that is, because there's people to this day that's done it 100 times and never succeeded.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, as far as just like not losing somebody or anything, like, you know, actual hard things in life.
Yeah.
That 1 week or 10 days or whatever it was just miserable. It was the hardest, you know, like loss or, you know, actual bad thing.
A real bad thing. Yeah. But as
I'm
far
not
as
calling it a bad
inconvenient
thing.
bad thing. Yeah.
Dude, it was the worst. It was the worst. Like I was miserable.
You were a whiny little bitch there for about 2 weeks.
I agree.
Where, I mean, even I called you out on it. And we're all men here. Like everybody we hang out with, we're all what most people would say a man's man.
Yeah.
So you call me a whiny little bitch. I'm normally like, no, go fuck yourself. like we'll get into it. Never come to blows because we respect each other too much for that and we love each other. But we will say things to each other that most people are like, there's no way they're friends after this.
Yeah.
And I straight up was like, dude, you were being a whiny little bitch. I'm fucking tired of it. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I know I am. I was like, what? He was like, oh no, I've noticed it myself. I know I have been for like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, I've just noticed it over the last couple days. He was like, oh no, ask my wife. It's been bad.
Yeah, it's been bad. And see, I guess that's probably the defining moment there is like, I knew that I was being just shitty.
Yeah.
And there was nothing I could do about it, dude. I was literally just at a point where I was like, I'm miserable. Hated everything. I was like, I'm just bad. But I knew if I gave up and gave in, I would be so mad at myself.
Yeah. It would be wasted.
It's time wasted. That was 30 days that I was just like, even though I'd probably lost a few pounds and probably got to a better point than I was, to me, it would have just been a complete waste. I would have went straight back to drinking Dr. Pepper, would have been straight back to eating everything, doing everything wrong, and I would have gained almost nothing. Because I would have my weight would have gone back up, if not higher. Yeah.
And that's the bad thing about the crash diets, because we've both done those a million times. And like right now is the first time in my life, I went from like 350-ish and I'm down to 280.
Yeah.
Still fat. I get it. Working on it. But it's the first time in my life where I'm down to 280 and I'm like, I have no interest in going the other direction. Like I'm not missing anything. I'm not upset about anything. So whenever you're telling me about the 75 hard and you're like, no, dude, I can do this forever. In my head, I'm thinking, well, that makes sense because he's changing 2 or 3 things he loves that he's not going to do anymore. But outside of that, you're eating the same shit you wanted to eat.
Yeah.
We've never really been huge drinkers. Like,
yeah, no.
I mean, I'm worse than you are. And I use if we have a big podcast and we're drinking, I drink 3 or 4 beers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or apple juice is YouTube. But you get what I'm saying. So you cut that out basically. You might maybe now, like I said, maybe a whiskey with a cigar once every 6 months or something because you don't really do it anyway.
Once in a blue moon. And that was the thing is like that part of it wasn't hard because like I would drink and then I would go periods where I just wouldn't drink.
Yeah.
So I guarantee you there's been 2.5 month periods that I wasn't going to drink anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, we're good.
I believe that because, like I said, I probably drink more than you do.
Yeah.
And there's times where I might have a drink on it. And I've never drank Sunday through Thursday. Don't know why. Sunday is the Lord's day. You don't do stuff like that on Sunday. But I don't know why I've never drank during the week. Just maybe respect for career or stuff like that. Even though I could have, I just don't. Like, even when I take customers out, if everybody's drinking, I might get me like a vodka and water or something like that. And I have one.
Yeah.
I'm just not big on it. But like, even then, there might be times I go a month or two without having anything.
Yeah.
And if I'm worse than you and I go a month or two without touching it, I'm sure you go plenty.
It wasn't even difficult. And so I was like, that's pretty good. But like, there were like I said, there were difficult things. Yeah. And I think I was in a bad mood, and I think it had to do with sugar. I think there's some point in there that it was an addiction.
But say you finally relapse, or not relapse. What's it? Your withdrawals. Yeah. You finally hit your withdrawals.
I felt like it was like just where, bad stuff like drugs and that kind of stuff, it hits immediately. Like, I feel like the sugar or Dr. Pepper or caffeine or something had like a delayed reaction.
Well, I wonder because, and I don't know any of this for sure.
Yeah.
No, but I wonder, like, cocaine's out of your system in like 3 days. I wonder if sugar is like a 60-day shelf life or 30-day shelf life.
Whatever it was.
So
and
it stays with you for that long. And then once it finally ran out, you were like, oh, like not really depressed, but depressed. Like,
oh, there was some depression in there.
You know what I mean? Like, maybe that's, and again, that's just me spitballing, but
it very well could be. And that's kind of what I figured, is it was something that I was doing before that I quit, and it took that long for it to completely clear my system and hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. I mean, it's 100% possible because, like, TRT, I mean, everybody knows I take tests, I take BCP-1, any kind of peptides. I'm a guinea pig. Hell, right now I'll probably have 7 different peptides running through my system. But test, that is one of the worst ones that I have to take that weekly. Yeah. Because if I go 2 weeks without it, like if I run out of test and I have to go 2 to 3 weeks without it, I have cried in the shower once I started taking it again. Just like the emotional like weight of everything, because your body's deregulating and everything. So that could be something with the sugar, like your body's not used to not having any kind of sugar and shit. Yeah. So you're like, flushing.
It took a while. And I mean, it did, dude. I was a mess. Like I didn't go cry in a shower, but I was,
don't judge me.
Hey, no judgment. I was just saying, that's not what I did, but man, some of those, the intrusive thoughts are just like, Jesus, this is not good.
Well, the one that I called you out on, I don't remember what happened, but it was so minor and stupid and it didn't even really concern you. And you like blew up on it. And I was like, Landon, you're being a whiny little bitch. And you were like, I know. And like, when you said, I know, straight faced, I was like, I'm confused right now. I'm confused by your tactics. What are you trying to do right here? You trying to flip this over on me? Like, what's going on? And you're like, oh, no, I know I am. I've been for like 2 weeks. And it blew my mind. I was like, dude. So you are. You're like, yeah, I can't stop. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And I knew the solution to stop, but I wasn't going. Yeah. I wasn't doing it.
You're like, I'm just going to be a whiny bitch for the next 75 days.
And everybody's just going to, like, I was just going to press it until it either I completely broke or
your wife threatened to leave you.
Yeah. Like, I was just like, no, this is what we're doing. Yeah. Like, I'm not giving in and giving up. Yeah. And I'm glad I did. Because,
brother, I am proud of you. I think you fucking killed it. I know a lot of people that's failed it 100 times and a lot of people that are a lot more dedicated than what we were, I'll put it that way, and that has done a lot of things in their life, fell it 1,000,000 times, and you fucking knocked it out the very first time just off sheer dedication and willpower.
Just grit.
And the fact that the one thing you're taking out of it is the mental clarity of, no, I can do this, and I'm going to keep doing this, like your dedication to it. Yeah. Now, put that into the podcast and YouTube, and we'll have 75 subscribers in 2 years.
Hell yeah. They going to start sending me free shit?
Well, maybe they will. Speaking of free shit, this week's episode's brought to you by Tactical Snacks. So if you can see right,
There it is.
They actually sent us over some. And I'm not going to go ahead and read everything off of there, but very low sugars, low calorie. I'm talking like I was watching one of their things on Instagram and it was kind of dope. Like a normal bag of candies, one of their bags, you would have to eat like 15 of their bags to get to a normal size
That's crazy.
bag of like normal store-bought candies.
And this is the one pulled up right here. That's the candy one, right?
Yes, that is the one with the sugar, everything like that. The one that, and I have tried these. They are delicious. I love these. But I'm honoring your respects on trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
So they did send us their new protein gummies. So basically, these are still just snacks, but there's 8 grams of protein in it. Little bit more on the calorie side. They're 95 calories for the bag, but you add 8 grams of protein, they're going to be some. So I wanted...
And no sugar, right?
An unfiltered... I'm going to say yes, but... Oh, you read it.
I don't think it's on there. I was reading it earlier.
I have a glare right above my head, and I can't hardly see it.
No, so no fat, no trans fat, no cholesterol. It's got 63 milligrams of sodium, but that's 3%. Carbohydrates are 29, so it's got a lot of carbs, but okay, there are sugars in here.
Okay.
It's 9 grams of sugar
For the whole bag.
for the whole bag.
Yeah.
So I can try one.
Let's
And
say-
plus, I'm done with 75 hard, so this is not by
So,
any means a
with
necessity.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you add 8 grams of protein and no sugars, you're going to taste like chalk.
Well, I mean, so what we got, how many's in a bag, you think? 10, 20?
I'm going to say
15?
25.
Okay.
Yeah.
And 9 grams of sugar for the whole bag.
Yep.
So less than a gram per.
And the cool thing about these is these fit into the sleeves on my range bag. These fit into the sleeves in my truck bag. So anywhere I go, as far as when we go to the range, we do any kind of videos outside, we go hunting, camping, anything like that, these will fit anywhere.
Yeah.
And as far as a healthy snack that's better than your normal stuff, what's better than that?
Yeah, that's not.
I mean, you can legit throw those anyway, and they're veteran owned, which I love that. I know you do too.
Oh, yeah.
But in my head, anything veteran, police, I always support that. Did I scare you right there?
A little bit. I wasn't certain what was happening there.
I was spinning it, but I didn't think it was going to hit the table, so I like kind of startled myself. But I had that out this whole time just so I could cut the bag open.
Hey, I can appreciate it. They smell good.
They do smell good. So this one is Watermelon Overwatch. The regular gummies that we have are Watermelon Overwatch sour gummies. So these, I don't know if they're sour or if it's just the protein, but bottoms up. Yep. These taste just as good as the other ones.
Yeah, those are good.
And you're a snob.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty bad.
So the fact that you're like, they're good.
I can eat that. So, I guess my after plan, I've lost all this weight. I'm wanting to lose about 12 to 14 more pounds. And then once I hit that point,
I'm over here just stuffing my face. Sorry, fellas.
I'll take one more. But once I finish that, then it's going to be pack on the protein. And with protein, you're going to get some sugars in there.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna do a bunch of that stuff, and that's my next plan, is to try to bulk up.
Well,
and so
we have the friends now to get you some.
Yeah, get me some snacks
Get
that
you
I
some
can
snacks with
eat for
protein.
some protein. So that's kind of where I'm going eventually.
I like it.
Uh-huh.
So, if y'all have anybody wants to try it, it's tactical-snacks.com. Go on there. You can read all about them. They sell a whole lot more stuff than just the gummies. But the gummies I love because, like I said, anything me and Landon do, Normally it has a backpack involved. We don't want to carry a whole bunch of stuff because if we're rooking up a mountain or we're out there shooting, we don't want, 10 pounds of gear on it, or 10 bags of gear on us to be carrying around everywhere. So with these, real simple, you can throw 2 or 3 pouches inside of a sleeve of your rucksack or your range bag, whatever. And they're right there with you.
Those are pretty good.
And they're freaking delicious.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, these, I know you're not like huge on sour ones, but they don't taste a whole lot different.
Yeah. No,
You're going to have a little bit more of a candy taste with these, in my opinion, where that one, they're thicker.
Let me see that real quick.
They are.
Look at those.
Anybody that's had like gummies for like protein or creatine or anything like that,
Yeah.
they'll understand. Like they're a lot more.
Dense.
They're not as soft. They're a lot more dense because of the protein. So I feel like
those up. Those are actually less sugar than these are.
Open these bad boys up.
Yeah. I'll try some sour ones because these are kind of sour, but not bad.
Well, they taste the same.
I'm not a sour person in general. I don't enjoy. I'm not going to go sit there and eat a Sour Patch Kid ever.
These taste exactly the same, in my opinion. You're just going to notice these aren't as dense. They're a lot easier to chew.
Yeah.
But when you start packing in 8 grams of protein in a sack.
Yeah. No, that's not bad. They're the same. The flavors are the same.
Yeah, I know. They're freaking delicious, bro.
That's good. Yep. I'm not mad at that. But anyways.
Now, we can't eat all these right here because my wife told me if I don't bring her some of these, she's going to be pissed off. Telling you, these right here are freaking good.
Yeah.
Even my wife liked them. Those, it was the first time for me, and I'm going to give them a thumbs up because they taste identical to the normal candy. And if you can pack something full of protein and make it taste like you're eating a regular candy gummy, I love you.
Yep. No, that was awesome because I'm picky in general.
Yeah, you hate everything. Got it.
Yeah, pretty much. And so with snacks and stuff, and like I was trying to figure out how to come up with 220 grams of protein. Like, trying to figure it out. And I'm like,
you want to eat
crap.
You want to eat natural protein.
Yeah.
But whenever I was doing strongman, I was trying to put in 300 grams of protein. And you want to eat natural protein, so steaks, chicken, stuff like that, but you can't eat all of that.
No, you're never going to keep up. It was like, oh yeah, you're going to need like 3 steaks a day and three chicken breasts. And I was like, no, I'm not, I'm going to be too full and I'm never going to get it done. So I was trying to figure out whether it's protein bars, protein shake in the morning, whatever it needed to be. I was just trying to figure it out. So if I can add, say, 10 grams of protein in with just one little snack, dude,
that you can throw in your cup holder.
Yeah.
And just have it all day with you. And you just.
Yep. I'm in.
Yep. That was my thing.
At all.
The thing that I was scared about on these, which to everybody, so everybody knows, did not have it. I was afraid that when you eat like a protein bar, you know how you get that chalky taste in your mouth? I get worried with gummies and any kind of protein food like that.
Anything. Even
of
the
having
shakes.
the chalky.
Yeah.
That does. And tell me if I'm wrong. That does not have it in my opinion.
I couldn't have told you any different than that being a normal ass candy.
Yep. But say the only difference I tasted in myself is the density, and it's not a taste.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as soft and chewy like a normal gummy. But normally when you get protein involved, it's not going to be.
Yeah.
Creatine gummies, I take those every night. And
I may need you to send me a link on those because it was like creatine and a bunch of protein and stuff like that, and I was just like, okay.
Well, I read somewhere I used to take the creatine in the mornings because creatine's great for energy. If you are ever tired, ever sluggish, ever anything, pop some fucking creatine. Your body eats it up, it absorbs it, it gives you energy.
Yep.
But one of the best things for fat loss is creatine before bed.
Yeah.
And I was always nervous about doing that because they give you energy. I know creatine gives you energy, but there's something about taking it, going to sleep, where it burns it off in your body.
That's pretty cool.
So, and actually, I think Rogan is where I first heard that.
Okay.
I could be lying to you. It might not have been Rogan. I know Rogan was the one that was talking about the energy and stuff at first whenever I first started doing it.
Yeah.
I researched it. I was like, oh, okay, this is a real thing. Started doing it. Then I noticed the difference.
Yeah.
I started getting my midday slumps. I would eat like 2 creatine gummies, and I was good till 7, 8 o'clock.
That's pretty cool.
But with that, I don't get the energy, which is weird. But maybe I go to sleep before it actually builds up and hits me.
Yeah.
But I did do the research, and creatine is one of the best ways to burn fat while you're sleeping. And I do like, I think one gummy is like 10 grams, so I do like 20 grams of creatine or whatever right before bed.
Hell yeah.
You just pop them in my mouth,
I'll have to
eat
try
them, and
that.
go.
Like, I'm fixing to get into a point where once I drop this little bit of extra weight that I want to drop,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to turn into something that I never thought I would be and never really cared anything about. And it's more of a fitness type deal. Like this, I'm just like, I know what I'm doing, you know, diet like I want to and lose the weight.
You have such an addictive personality that it, see, and it's funny whenever I talk about fitness because I am a big guy.
Yeah.
Most people don't think of strongman, powerlifting, stuff like that as fitness. And one,
it is.
Oh yeah, but I've struggled my whole life ever since I broke my ribs in college, basically, and got fat for the first time. I've struggled my whole life with weight.
Yeah.
So for the last 10 years, I have been doing everything I can think of, other than the dedication and willpower to stick with it. Not doing crash diets and stuff like that. I've been losing weight and gaining it my entire life, so I know how to lose weight.
Yeah.
I get that. I know how to build strength and put on muscle because of working out back in college and high school, and then with strongman with Remy.
Yeah.
So like when it comes to supplements, when it comes to actual fitness advice, I'm pretty good at it. Like I'm very knowledgeable on it. And people look at me when you find somebody new and they're like talking to, you know, like, I don't know this person, but they're like a third party that you know really well. And they say something and I'm like, no, not necessarily. If you would do this and this and this and like show them the study on it.
Yeah.
And the look they give me really irritates me. So it's real funny whenever.
How do you know what the fuck you're talking about?
Exactly. Look at here, fat ass. How do you know anything about fitness? And it's real funny when I have somebody, especially looking the way you look now.
Yeah.
Where you ask me fitness advice.
Oh yeah.
And it makes me chuckle every time because I'm like, Landon's the guy that looks like he should be giving me fitness advice and he's calling me for stuff. So I'm kind of excited with your addictive personality for you to just fall into it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be fun.
It's coming because that's where I'm headed next. I just want to get down to a certain point. And I think that point after I went and got scanned a week ago or whatever it was, that I think it is about 12% body fat, which is crazy.
Yeah.
But I think as much as I've done so far and as much as I'm doing at the moment, I think I can get down to there pretty easy.
Yeah. And I mean, me personally, I think anywhere from 10 to 15 is you're in good shape.
Yeah.
You're in great shape. You look good. Anything below 5, you can't stay there long term. It's unhealthy for you.
Yeah, no.
That 5 to 10, you pretty much want to live like a bodybuilder your whole life without the competition and doing it. And it really doesn't make sense. So I've always said 10 to 15% is a great place to fluctuate just because that's a normal person and you're in great shape.
Yeah.
And like with our goals, I mean, there's no reason for us to get down below 10.
No.
5%.
I'm not. I want to be able to go out in the wilderness, and if I don't have the time or don't have the energy or whatever to cook and eat that night, I want to be able to do that without being like, I've got nothing to give.
Yeah.
Like, I need a little bit of fat on the body so I can survive.
You need a little survival weight.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because there is a lot of times we go out and either one, we don't kill anything, so we're not eating, or two, like take Colorado, for instance, we go rucking up a mountain for 4, 5, 6 miles to kill a bear, and then you have to ruck back down the mountain. There's going to be times you're going to be wore out where you're like, I don't even want to eat. I don't care if it's there or not. I don't want to.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And so I want to have that a little bit of cushion there.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably a pretty healthy way to do it. And it's crazy that I've gotten to where I've gotten just doing that. So it's like, it's fun. It's going to be fun to see.
Yeah. That was the one thing I really like about intermittent fasting, which I mean, you've heard me preach about intermittent fasting for 10 years, but But that's one thing I love about it is the little things of skipping a meal. If I'm not hungry at nighttime, I just don't eat. And a lot of mine right now, I'm really trying to do more of an OMAD. So just a 1 meal a day, stick with it. And the cool thing about that is if we eat lunch, I don't usually worry about dinner because I don't eat it anyway normally.
Yeah.
So if we're out there and I have to skip a meal because I'm tired, I'll wake up the next day and my body's like reset to that mindset. So it's like, oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was like you were living a normal day.
Yeah.
So that's, of course.
I like that.
Yep.
Well, so I'm ready for you to get into your deep dive on fitness and especially like supplements. I love supplements like energy drinks. Even the ones I drink on those, normally they have BCAAs. You're not going to have a whole lot of protein, but there's zero sugars. There's shit like that in all of them I drink.
Yep. And
I drink a lot of them, which is unhealthy, but I'd always drink good ones.
So back before, once upon a time, we would take some BCAAs and stuff, right?
Oh, I still take BCAAs.
But I did it because y'all were doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I was just like, hey, cool, a blue drink.
Yeah. Branch chain amino acids, by the way, if you don't know what it is. Great,
okay.
Great building blocks.
I didn't know what it was.
Oh, branch chain amino acids. They're great building blocks for your body.
Everyone.
They're great for anybody.
Anytime anything's been brought up, BCAA. That's one of the first things everyone has said.
Yeah.
Like whether it's the guy that did the body scan that day, he was like BCAA.
Yep.
ChatGPT. I'm trying to learn off of there, and it's like BCAA. Make sure you're doing that. And I was like, all right.
BCAA, like I said, are the building blocks of essentially your DNA. Like, so they're the building blocks of what keeps your body going. So you have those amino acids in there, your recovery rate's going to be going through the roof. I mean, just as far as health wise, there's nothing wrong with them. Yeah. So I can see why every time you hear something, it's BCAA.
Yeah, that one's in there. And so that's part of the game plan. I've got a list made that as soon as I hit my goals, then we're adding.
With yours, and I know you do your own research on peptides.
Yeah.
But for me, BCAAs, protein, creatine are a must. And then for me personally, BCP 157, TB 500, a blend of those two. I love those. And then a HGH substitute.
Okay.
That's, for me personally, I love that. You felt, whenever you were trying to lose weight, you felt the HGH substitute and you're like bloated. You're like, I don't know if I can do this. My water retention's through the roof.
It messed me up the 4 days that I took that shit. So I was like, I don't know, and backed off. But I was like, eventually I do want to try it again.
Well, you're going to have to, losing weight is a calorie deficit.
Yeah.
Gaining weight, calorie surplus.
Yeah. Get
yourself in that surplus where you're going good and you're working out hard. That way you're not building fat, you're building muscle. Then you
it's
pop
not gonna
that
matter.
HGH,
Yeah.
you're not going to hold that water as well.
Yeah, and whenever I do this, whenever I decide to go from cutting to bulking, I'm going to go ahead and get a body scanner that will scan myself and then not focus on the weight. Like
Just your body
I
comp.
don't care what I weigh. As long as my comps are going up and moving in the right direction, that's where I want my numbers to be.
So that's what Remy, the guy that he was my coach in strongman, we talked about weight all the time. And he was like, I know you want to be between 240 and 250. He was like, but you have 56-inch wide shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, so do you care? And at the end of the day, no, I don't care what I weigh. If I have flat stomach, minimal love handles, that's the downfall of my family genetics right there. It's fucking love handles. I had abs in high school and still had fucking love handles. So shit sucks. But minimal love handles, flat stomach, and muscle definition, I don't give a fuck if I weigh 290.
Yeah, no. And in reality, that it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. That number on the scale is a number. As long as everything that makes up that number is in the right direction, then you're fine.
Yeah.
And that I've come to realize that there is a number that I wanted to hit. Obviously, I wanted to be 215 is what I stated before any of this ever started.
Yeah.
And I'm already almost there. I'm 3 pounds there. That to me, that's basically it. But once I got to that point, I was like, okay, this is where my composition is.
It's never good enough.
If I hit this number right here, then I'm going to be that much better off.
Yeah, and whenever you said 205, we talked about it, and you're like, I might start looking bad at 205.
Oh, yeah. No,
but that's where you want your building block to take place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree with that. You get to 205, could you look too skinny? Because you are 6'4", you're not a small guy.
Yeah.
But you're going to build from 205?
That's the point, is I am going up.
Yeah.
I will probably pretty quickly be close to 220 again, but it's not going to be like, oh, I gained 15 pounds and now my feelings are hurt. I know I'm going to go up.
Maybe we should try to create a 75 hard for gaining weight. I've never seen one of those. Everybody does 75 hard really to lose weight, build muscle.
Yeah.
I mean, instead of the little things like that, I mean, it's a whole different struggle to go up.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's not easy to gain weight the right way. But, I mean, you put in roughly, say, a gram of protein, gram and a half of protein per body weight. So you're putting in 205 grams of protein. I mean, little things like that. That's hard to do. I don't think people realize, like, that's 2 or 3 steaks, some chicken,
and still going
some
with
tactical snacks.
Yeah. And still going with a protein shake.
Yeah, and a protein shake to get there.
I was sitting there and I was like, go. And that's what I do. So my walks, I get over on ChatGPT, hit the talk button, and I just talk to ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, this is what I have in mind. And
so ChatGPT is now your best friend, not me?
I know, you're still my best friend.
I'm your best boyfriend?
Yeah.
All right.
But no, I'd get in there and I'd start talking and be like, okay, this is what I want to do. Here's this, here's that, and just bounce things off of them. And like, I don't know where we were going, but yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
So basically we're talking about the grams of protein.
Oh, yeah,
all
yeah.
that stuff.
And I was trying to break down my protein for the day. And so like, I was like, okay, I don't do protein shakes. I don't do this. I don't do that. And it's like, okay, well, you're going to need a breakfast with like 4 or 5 eggs in the morning, this, and it just kept adding. And I was like, there's no way. I was like, okay, give me the protein shake.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that's 50 grams because you're doing 2 scoops, and then just went from there. And I was like, okay, that's a little more manageable. And if I add any like protein bars or anything else like that, I'm like, okay, this is now doable.
Yeah.
But it's going to take work.
Well, see, that was the issue with mine whenever I was trying to lose weight and do strongman was you can find, if you don't worry about your calories, you want, 200 to 400 calories surplus, you can do whatever protein shake you want for the most part.
Yeah.
Because a lot of protein is going to have more calories.
Oh, yeah.
Where I was trying to do it was minimize my calories with still getting good quality protein. So there was stuff that I was getting 23 grams of protein and getting 500 calories instead of 900, which was great. But now I only have 15 to 1,700 calories for the day for food.
Yeah.
So when you do the protein shake and then try to get all your 300 grams of protein in with normal natural foods, it was almost impossible to get 300 grams of protein in.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah, no, I'm a little worried about that part of it, and it may just the only answer may just be work out harder.
Yeah, I mean,
it may just be stack the calories, but then make sure you get rid of them.
Well, and it might be one of those where we have to fine tune because I'm going into this with you. I decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm going balls deep. I mean, you mind if I show it off if I can pick it up?
Yep. Well, I mean, you did wear it for like 35 minutes earlier. So it was definitely a workout what you were doing.
God
but...
almighty.
Hey, there it is. Yeah, it's all there. So what you got there?
This is Tactical Wolves with my Sons of Liberty patch, of course.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, Sons of Liberty. Dude, we just give them a little shout out.
We've got 35 minutes to get everything in. I hadn't even asked you how good your day was or your week or any of that stuff.
Nah, well.
Anyways, give them a shout out. And
it might be a little longer. Who cares? But Sons of Liberty, they might have, not only do they have awesome products.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't even talked about range day.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Shit.
I've got other stuff I want to go into, and we still haven't.
We will go ahead and we'll make this fast, and then we'll roll right into range day. But they might have some of the coolest freaking merch and patches that I've seen out of anybody.
Yeah.
Like the Sons of Liberty patch is dope as shit. Their shirts were dope as shit. Their hats were dope as shit. Like I was very impressed with like their merch for being a, you know, an arms dealer.
Yeah.
I just love that. I want to be an arms dealer so bad.
We'll make it happen one day.
But some of the coolest merch, because a lot of them are very basic and stuff like that, but theirs were freaking
Yeah.
like.
I mean, that for giving away a patch there, that's an impressive ass patch.
That
I was
is a
like,
dope
all right,
patch.
cool.
And I know y'all can't really see it, but it has your camo. It has, is that a
1776.
76? Yeah, right, America, red-blooded American. But I mean, it's just a dope all around patch. But this right here is a Wolf Tactical weighted vest. About $200, probably the best money I've ever spent. I'm going to try to wear that an hour or two every day, just randomly walking around. It turns your entire day into a workout.
Yeah.
So I wore it over here for probably 45 minutes to an hour, just hanging out with Landon, walking around the house before we started the podcast. And I had sweat like rolling off of me. And this one's only like, I'm going to say 40 pounds.
Yeah.
35 to 45 pounds. I don't remember exactly what I got, but you can adjust the weight. I mean, you have your little weighted bars right here that slide in, so you can adjust the weight how you want to. You throw that thing over, you strap it down. It sets just like a tack vest. Very comfortable. In all honesty, you wore it for a few minutes.
Yeah. No, it's
It
super
is
comfortable.
super comfortable. It pretty much Velcros and then has one of the, I don't really know what these belt systems are called.
Tactical
But
belt.
I always
yeah.
call it a tactical belt,
what-
like that wraps around it, that keeps it snug. It doesn't move. We were jumping up and down with it and just being goofy, just testing it out. And it doesn't move. Like it doesn't bounce. It just kind of stays hugging onto you. But that is one thing that I'm going to try to change the game, because we do have a rut coming up. Me and Landon we both won our draws for the bear hunt in September. So we both have an opportunity to get a bear. So with that, with great power comes great responsibility. We're going to be in the mountains, very high altitude, hiking up and down a mountain, basically, with our rucks on, our guns, everything.
Yeah.
So that's one reason I told Landon, like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to get dead serious on the working out phase instead of just the eating right phase. Because I've already dropped, like I said, 60, 65 pounds.
Yeah.
Without really working out hard. So now I'm going to really focus on it like he is, get my workouts in. But that's one thing I'm going to do every day during my workouts and when I'm wearing it around the house, just to get used to having an extra 40 pounds on my back walking around.
Yeah.
And those little mobility muscles that you don't think about, that thing had my back burning just walking around his house with it. Just the little muscles that you don't think about.
Yeah, that you're not going to use on a regular basis.
Tactical Wolf, if any of y'all are watching this, great product, highly durable. I freaking love it. You want to toss us one or two more?
I'd take one.
But say, we'll make it work. But
oh, man.
I wanted to get, that's not even a sponsored shout out.
Yeah.
That is just I really enjoyed the way it felt. It was super comfortable. It was definitely worth the money.
Cool product.
Very cool product. Now, granted, very shitty product at the same time because I was hurting. But that's kind of the point. But with that being said, again, shout out Sons of Liberty.
Yeah.
Sons of Liberty. What did we do this weekend, Landon?
Oh, man. So we went to another suppressor shoot. Well, gun shoot, suppressor shoot, and
Thermals.
Thermal. Yep. So
They had the works, brother.
yeah, Bauer Precision out of Denton, Texas put it on. Yes, sir. Hey, both of us got our hats on.
Appreciate the hats, Bauer.
Yes, sir.
Dope as shit.
But no, we went over there again. So the suppressors, silencers, whatever you want to call them. That was HuxWerx this time.
And those suppressors,
Holy shit.
for a man that, whenever I see guns and optics, I've been around those most of my life. So it takes quite a bit to impress me. Suppressors doesn't really take a whole lot, just for the fact of they're new to me.
Yeah.
I've never really worried about them. The more I shoot now, the more I'm like, I need a suppressor. Like I'm big on these now because now that I'm putting in, you know, we might be putting in 1,000 rounds a weekend.
Yeah.
You need some
Yeah.
hearing protection.
It's
Act.
nice.
Boom.
Yeah.
Pass it.
Pass it. Now.
But those suppressors were nuts, especially for you.
I loved it.
Because he's broken and he shoots left-handed. So explain the difference. It'll be on the YouTube video that we post, but I want you to try to explain the difference of the normal suppressor versus the HuxWerx suppressor.
Okay, so you want to hand me with that gun right there?
Clear.
Unloaded. Nothing in there. So anyways, whenever I shoot left-handed. So I'm going to come up like this. Okay, which way? Okay, there's the ejection port. So as I'm leaned over the rifle, ejection port's here. So with an AR, this style rifle, you shoot and the gases come down here. There's a gas block in here, and it comes up, and the gas comes down the tube and pushes your bolt carrier to the rear. And so whenever it pushes those out, the only place for them to escape is right here, out of the ejection port. So you just get a ton of gas in your face, and it's almost miserable sometimes.
Think about standing behind a vehicle with the mufflers that go straight out the back.
Yep.
You're basically getting smoked out the entire time.
Right into your face. So with the HuxWerx, your gases, they come down like that, but instead of so much of them coming back here because everything's trying to escape the suppressor, the front end of the suppressor has its own vents. So a lot of your gases will escape out of the vent holes of the suppressor and mitigates almost all of the gas coming out of the ejection port. And for me, it was a game changer.
So instead of Landon having his cheeks blown open by the old exhaust port going right into his mouth, he no longer has to worry about that with HuxWerx suppressors.
Yeah. I had never shot one until this weekend, and I'm going to go buy one this week.
And
oh, turn around.
That was one thing that I told Landon while we were there is I was like, dude, like I shoot right-handed. I'm not an expert with suppressors by any stretch of the imagination. And I looked at him and I said, I can tell a difference in those. Like they're still quiet. They still do their job. I was like, but I can feel a difference in that. And he was like, oh, and this is why. And he told me the exact same thing. And he said, now think about it from my point of view, where I'm shooting and the gases, I guess, in general, are coming right back into his face. He said, with this one, I don't have to worry about that. So that difference I was feeling, he was feeling it tenfold.
Yeah, it's much, much better. But it's crazy. I will have one of those with the times of suppressors being roughly about a week to 2 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
In the next 3 weeks, I will have a HuxWerx suppressor.
In the next 3 weeks, I will have 7 of those.
Just one. Just one. I mainly just want it for that rifle right there. But
and we did. We made fun of him. He made fun of himself. So when I say we, I'm talking about me and him. Made fun of him for probably an hour there because the dude has 50 suppressors.
I wouldn't
30
say quite
suppressors?
50, but yeah, you're getting there with that number for sure.
You're up there. And not a single HuxWerx. And those are probably the best suppressors, especially for a left-handed shooter.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Gas mitigation's crazy on that. I've always heard about it, thought about it, and all that stuff, but it was always a theory to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, that might work, or it's just the same crap, and I want I want this brand or that brand or whatever. But after shooting them, let's just say that's why these suppressor shoots and these range days are so important. Like a guy that's, I don't know, I've probably shot 50,000 rounds in my life.
Oh, yeah.
So as somebody that shot that much and shot left-handed almost the entire time, that's unreal.
Yeah.
Like, for me not to know that, like, personally, like I said, I knew it before. I knew they're good cans and all of this other stuff, but I didn't know how much difference it would make to me.
And I don't want to say you're an expert because there are people out there that are smarter than you. But in a relative sense, I mean, we go to shit like that and we both tell everybody, like, Dusty don't know anything about guns. But and then they start talking. I'm like, yeah, this is what it does. And they're like, I thought you didn't know anything about guns. I'm like, well, compared to my friends, I don't know anything about guns. But with you, even with people out there that know exactly what they're talking about, you're still pointing out things that even those people don't know.
Yeah.
So as far as experts And normal people, I would put you up closer to the expert category.
I agree.
And for you not to know anything about that, and then to see your face whenever you shot it and you were like, holy crap, like this is insane, kind of blew my mind a little bit.
As strange as it sounds, and obviously I know it's not the same, but you hear the people that like they put hearing aids for the first time and they're like, oh my God,
I can hear.
And they start crying and stuff. Like it was almost like that for me. I was just like, wait, I can shoot a suppressed AR. Like I could actually take an AR into a tactical situation with those cans and not worry about it.
Yeah.
Like if I go run that can 30 rounds, I'm putting it down and like trying to keep it out of my face the last 10 or 15 because it's unbearable.
Yeah.
You can't breathe through those gases.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially with how it works, and it's really pushing it back because it's trying to move everything back.
Yeah.
So when it comes out, it's coming right back at your face.
Yeah.
Like whenever I said, think about a cartoon with the exhaust and like their cheeks are blowing out. It's not obviously not that extent, but it's the exact same concept
Pretty
of
damn
it.
close.
It's going right into your face, into your mouth, into your nose. You're not breathing through it like Landon just said.
Yeah. No, not at all. And so with that being said, I mean, you had Sons of Liberty, which those guys
Dope
right there,
as shit.
My entire knowledge of them has just been they're a company out of Texas from San Antonio, and that guy is.
Don't hold that against them if you're in Dallas.
Yeah, don't do that. They're good people.
They did have an old San Antonio Spurs sticker there that was Sons of Liberty sticker, but their same logo. And I did have to tell that man, there's no way I will carry that with me just because I'm a Mavs fan. But I won't hold it against them. They were cool as shit, and all the rest of their merch were freaking top notch.
Yeah, no, they were good dudes.
This thing fucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So the owner of that company, he is the strongest 2A supporter there is. Like, believes the whole, we can own anything.
Yeah.
Like,
wholeheartedly. I agree with him.
I mean, to the point where, I mean, he lives it.
Yeah.
He is 2A to the death. And like 2A, you get everything.
A legit, you will pry it from my cold dead fingers type of guy.
Yeah, no, he's a great dude. And I mean, you can't ask for more out of a gun company.
Yeah.
Like on our side kind of guy.
Well, just and I'm not even talking about the firearms that were there that we got to shoot, but just their firearms they had under the tent on display. Those things were dope as all get out.
Yeah.
But I want to move past Sons of Liberty. I want to move past Bauer, and I want to move past HuxWerx.
Okay.
I want to talk about iRay. The thermals were insane. Brother, what was the thermal that I was looking through that he was like, oh no, you think that's cool, brother? Take a look at this one. And he like set the range up for me and everything and then handed it to me.
Yeah.
What was that thermal?
So
do you remember?
The RH25 was the one we were looking through, the one I really love. I say it in the video. I've had one. I'm going to get another one. It helmet mounts. I can mount it up here on this thing. I can mount it in front of my scope, like up here. And then it now turns my scope into a thermal. Or I can put it on a gun without any scope, and now that gun is thermal.
Or you can just hold it. Like it's small and it's handheld small enough that you can just hold it and put it up and have your thermal right there with you. But what was the big one?
I'm going to have to look that one up. So if you want to continue.
Well, I will continue about it. I don't remember what it was called. Maybe I'm just a piece of shit person for that. It was absolutely nuts. I am looking through this optic and I can see where the rounds are penetrating the target. Like the discoloration, the hole through, like you can see as the round enters the target is how clear this thing is. It was absolutely insane. You can see the brass casings flying out of the side of the gun. Like you're not having to look for it. The thermals on this was absolutely nuts. I have never experienced one to that extent and that detailed. But I'm talking, I put my camera, a little Action 360, to it to look through it and looking at the pictures, which will be posted on Instagram. But looking at the picture itself, it is still just as clear through a normal camera lens. and it blew my mind. I was a huge fan of it, and that was one of the first real experiences I've had with a big time thermal like that, and it was just insane. I've messed with Landons and stuff like that, but that one blew my mind with how fine tuned the detail was on it.
Yep. So that one, actually, I didn't even realize it. I don't know if he said it in the video and I wasn't paying attention, which is highly likely because I don't pay attention much. It is a 1024 by 1024 aspect ratio on the screen, which is crazy clear.
What does that mean?
That's going to be your resolution.
Okay.
And so with most optics,
That's higher than 720.
they're normally about 640.
Okay.
About 640 is pretty normal. This one, you're talking another
double
50% over that. So with resolution, no, I guess it is. Yeah, I mean from there because it's the opposite. It goes bigger than that.
Yeah.
So even if it's less, so it's probably double the resolution. Let me make sure to get it back in there. Okay, so double the resolution, just crystal clear.
It was insane.
I watched a cricket fart.
The old cricket farts, I could see it.
Oh man, but no, crystal clear. That thing was insane. I've had a bunch of thermal. I've had Trigicon thermals that are $7,000-8,000. Played with them, had the iRays, loved those things to death. Never seen anything
Bro,
that clear.
the price on this one, it blew my mind so much because all I've ever known about thermals is what you've told me, really.
Yeah.
Like, I've messed with like small ones for like hog shooting and stuff like that. Never anything big.
Yeah.
Like something just more of you will know they're there. You're not really worried about reaching out there and looking at them. But whenever I asked him how much this one was, and he was like, $6K-ish.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this one. He was like, yeah, that one. I was like, there's no way. Like, I have seen stuff that's not near as good as this for $8 to $10,000.
Yeah.
He was like, you're welcome. Like, it was just like, I don't know what to tell you, brother.
There you go.
That's the price.
Yeah.
Like, their price point versus what it is, it is dirt cheap in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah. For
like,
what it is, you're not gonna beat it. It was incredible. I was blown away because, like I said, I've seen a lot of freaking thermals and nothing close. The guy was like, I was like, so what's the detection range? He's like, as far as you can possibly see. And after I looked, because I asked him that to begin with, and then after he said that, I was like, oh, okay. And then I pulled it up and I was like, oh, okay. Like literally.
Like I said, this isn't my first rodeo guy. Don't lie to me. He pulled that thing up and his mouth dropped like, oh, you really
like,
can see that.
All right. And he was like, honestly, he said, you're probably just trying to decipher what it is at 1,000 yards. And I was like, but that's as far as you would be able to decipher anything.
Yeah.
Like you put a cow out there at 1,000 yards and you're going to be like,
is that a hog or is that a cow?
What is that? It looks like a speck.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, you don't have to explain that to me if that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But you put that thing out there far enough and you're not gonna be able to tell what it is anyways.
No. And
you're not shooting at
I'm about to say, and that's what I was about to say. And we've talked about that on previous podcast episodes of normal shooting ranges. And like for me, 300 or 400 yards, and I'm not shooting past that. And that is a extremely far shot.
Yeah.
So I'm not shooting past 300 or 400 yards for a good shot. So the fact that you can see 1,000 yards out, you're like, holy crap. Are we in trouble?
No, lawnmower.
No. Mama just walked into the podcast room, and whenever the podcast princess comes in, you shut up and you ask her what she wants. So we had to take a little bit of a break to make sure we weren't in trouble yet.
Yeah.
Because Mama she's Landon's sugar mama, but she's my step sugar mama. So I do what I'm told as well.
You want to take a quick break? We'll pause.
Yeah, we can pause it.
Yeah. All right.
And we're back. Landon had to tear apart an engine and put it back together with his bare hands because he's a man.
Oh, yeah. That's how you get things done.
We were actually gone for 2 days. You just don't know that.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Yeah, it just looks like about half a second. So, we had finished up talking about...
Yeah, we were talking about the thermals and stuff, and dude, they were just amazing.
Yeah, they were insane.
Like, that's on the list too, but the suppressor's got to come first because I need a battle gun.
And I still think because I'm gonna set up a 4570 for hog hunts and predator hunts. And I do think I'm still going to go with Infotech and do their little side mount, put it at a 45. That way I can have my normal scope with the little thermal.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Like the one that you love,
Yeah.
you have that where you can just flip to the side and take off and then flip it back up, and now your normal scope is thermal. That is hard to beat. And the price on that, MSRP on that was like, what, 700?
Which one? The one I like?
Yeah.
No, they're $4,000.
Look it up, because the one of them he was talking about there that we were looking at.
$6,000.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. The one that I really like.
Oh, the one that I said I was going to get is like 700.
Yeah. So this smaller version without like some of the, like, you can't really helmet mount this one very well because it's zoomed in, so you can't walk with it. So that one right there is 3,800.
Hey,
I don't know. I don't know which one it was, man. But either way, they've got some cool shit.
No, the Infotech one's the one that's 700.
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
I just got them confused, but the Infotech one's the one that I think I'm going to get. But that one right there,
oh yeah,
it's real tough to not just save up and get, just for the fact of, I mean, you're not going to handheld the Infotech one. You're not going to helmet mount it. Like I said, you can drop it on a 45 and have your scope, flip it over for the thermals. You can see anything you want to see that way.
Yeah. Out to 250.
But say it works great for what you're doing, for what I want it for.
Yeah. Well, and it's very mission specific. I mean, and that's really what this all boils down to, and the reason I have this instead of just one gun decked out.
Just because it's specific to what you need it for.
What you need it for, yeah. And I'm not saying I need all these for different things, but I need a couple of them for a couple different things.
I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, my friend.
Yes, sir. And that's how I justify buying everything.
I'm just here to push you in the right direction.
Hell yeah. Oh shit! So how was your week? I never asked you that.
Yeah, you're kind of a piece of shit, but it's fun. You know, you get skinny and start working out, and you get this.
Just wanted to talk about myself, dude.
Yeah, and just wanted to go in about yourself. I said, "Hey, Landon, how was your week?" You said 75 hard. It's over. I completed it. I'm a bad man. I was like, "Okay, bro, go ahead, have your moment." Screw all the little people around here. You know what I mean? I get it. No, my week was pretty good. It's it wasn't bad. I did have to load my truck down and make a real sketchy trip to Odessa. But it's one of those things where you have a bunch of money riding on the line if it gets delivered, or you don't make it if it don't get delivered.
Yep.
I'm driving 5 hours to deliver it, and then that was the shittiest part. 4.5, 5 hours down there to be there for 10 to 15 minutes to unload it, get a signature, 5 hours back.
Turn around and come home.
Yeah, that was, and driving 8 to 10 hours a day doesn't bother me when I'm getting in and out and talking to people. I don't even think about it. But driving 5 hours down there, get out for 15 minutes, 5 hours back without stopping, because when I'm by myself, I ain't stopping.
Yeah.
I'm just going. Dude, I got home and I was wore the hell out. Like, it whipped my butt. And I don't even know why, because like I said, we drive 8 to 10 hours a day anyway.
It's pretty normal, but it's just the straight through. It's monotonous. You literally just sit there, and it's West Texas. There ain't shit there.
In that drive, I do like that job. I'd rather go west than I would east.
Oh, yeah.
But
don't send me to Dallas.
Yeah. But you're on that one stretch of road, and it is 280 miles this way.
Yeah.
You don't merge, you don't get off, you don't do anything. It's this way.
Yeah.
And that's it. You stay on one road for 280 miles, and that's where you're going. So it is that. And then I think the stress of having those big ass rolls of insulation tied down in the back of my pickup truck, like normally they're in a box van or an 18-wheeler trailer. I have 5 of them strapped down to my truck, hoping they don't come loose or anything like that, because those are heavy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're totaling out a car.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then on top of it, any 18-wheeler that comes by you feels like it's going to suck them out of there. So,
bro, I had a few of them that I passed, and I guess just hitting their windbreak on the sides, my truck would just start like son of a gun. And that makes it a much worse trip instead of going 75 because that's the speed limit.
Yeah.
On the, that you can do that on the way back. Now you're going like 60, 65 on the way there. So it makes that trip even longer. And then I get to turn around Monday and go, or tomorrow morning and go straight back to Odessa. But I'm staying there for a couple days.
Heck yeah. No, that's not bad. I will say that any of the Northerners listening are probably going to be like, he gets to go 65 and he's complaining.
Oh, is that?
All of their speed limits are 55.
No.
Miles.
I would die.
Dude, a bigger interstate than most of our interstates are. And their speed limit is 55. I was like, this is insane.
No way in hell.
I would
get a ticket every time.
It was bad. I was just driving and I'd look down, I'm running 75 and I'm passing everybody like boom, 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 boom.
Standing still.
And I'm like, holy crap. And I looked over and I was like, the car had it on the speed limit on the dash. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I'm glad there's no cops around here.
This is on me. My bad, brother. Yeah, well, I'm from Texas.
If they would have been like stacked up like we do in Texas where there's cops everywhere, I'd have had like 12 tickets that trip. But
could you imagine one of them dudes getting on the I call it the Austin Circle, but that little toll road,
the Autobahn.
Fucking, what is it, 90, 95 is the speed limit on it?
85 is the speed limit, but you can do 95 and still be
I thought the speed limit I thought there is a stretch that there is a 90 speed limit.
I don't think so. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and it may have changed. I don't think I've been down it in 3 or 4 years.
I went down it like last year or the year before last. And I bet I was going 95 to 100, and I was driving with cops.
Yeah.
And I'm talking like I'm on their ass. They're going the same speed I am. No issues. They're just cruising. I'm cruising. Everybody's going the exact same freaking speed. It's super peaceful because you're not getting passed. You're not passing anybody.
Everybody's just rolling.
Yeah, everybody's going 95 to 100 miles an hour just going.
Yeah.
And it's weird to say when you do get passed, they're going like 105, and they're not passing you like they normally would. They're just nice, simple.
Yeah, they're not really speeding that much, even if they are. So it's like,
and that's, I don't know, that stretch of road, I love driving it, and it gives me like from here to Oklahoma, like to Tulsa.
Yeah,
I think that toll road should be 90 miles an hour.
Yep.
Or because it flows so much better when it is.
Yeah, it's
like
wide
once you cross the Red River, open that bitch up, let it go. I love it. I don't know. I'd lose my mind at 55.
I think you throw somebody on that road and they weren't expecting it, they would lose it. They'd be like, what the hell am I going to do now?
If somebody's used to their max speed being 55, 60 miles an hour, they would be white knuckling the steering wheel going 90, period. No cars around them.
Yeah.
But then they're going 80, 85 and people are blowing past them at 95, 100. Cool. Good to go.
Yeah.
And I bet there's hardly any wrecks on that road.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think
everybody's
so
just cruising. You don't have the one person going a 95 and everybody else going 65.
Yeah.
Like everybody's going the same speed, and you can almost just sleep the whole way because you're just cruising.
It's just a chill drive. Yep. I love that one. That loop over there is my favorite. But
every time we go to the beach, that's the way I take, just because it's that easy.
Yeah, it's simple, and you end up so far ahead of where you would have been if you had to go through Austin.
Yeah.
Which, if you go through during any traffic times,
you're screwed.
Yeah, you might as well just pay the toll. And
I've went through there through the worst traffic time with the toll road, and still
there's
cut off an hour and a half of my time just by not going through Austin.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
So I did have some questions I wanted to ask you.
Okay,
we are an hour and 15 minutes in. Should I save them for next week? So it's
is there any of them that are is there one that's unrelated? Or are they all tied together?
Nope, they're all going to be gun law, Second Amendment questions, gun safety.
Okay. That
kind of stuff. Very simple knowledge-based stuff that it's going to be more of your input on it and what you feel like, cuz like safe of choice for child safety, not getting to your firearms. Like I said, you have shit all over your house. You have about 5 freaking gun safes with everything in it. None of your shit's really just laying around.
Yeah.
This is the most open they are, and everything up here is usually locked behind a door, can't get into.
Yep, you're not getting into this one.
I say you have to be invited in to come in. I mean, we've known each other for years, and I have to wait for you to open the door. So there's just a lot of shit like that. And I was just going to, just simple questions like that. They're not related to anything we've talked about. They're just more of.
It's up to you, really. I mean, if you want to dive in and we go to, say,
I just don't know if we're going to get into a talking point like we did with the hunting questions.
One question. Like if there's one question that's completely unrelated, ask that. And then.
They're all the same.
Okay. Yeah, let's save them then.
Okay.
We can save those. I'm trying to think of anything we didn't go over as far as the shoot. There is a video coming out. It will have come out like a week ago or a week and a half ago.
Yep. So today it'll come out tomorrow.
Yep.
So for y'all, whenever y'all see this, it'll be 2 Mondays ago.
Yep.
So it'll be within a week, probably.
Yep. So go check that one out. It's the same kind of deal. It was our first experience with Bauer over there, and our first real experience videoing for YouTube.
Especially in that atmosphere, like videoing gear reviews, not firearm reviews, but gear reviews, completely different animal. Even firearm reviews, it's more of a stationary torture test and shit like that, speed test, which is what we're going to be going for moving forward. And we've screwed around with stuff, not in a video. That's what we're going to be doing, though. We want to work on our tactical training and our speed work.
Yep.
We're not good at it. We've never worked on it. So y'all are going to get to follow along with us in the gun reviews.
Yeah.
Watching us go from shit to good, hopefully.
Yeah.
So kind of exciting little twist on it. But this one's more of a, you're going around, you're listening to other people talk. It's more of an interview setting.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, even then, like, we weren't really good at that. Like,
no,
we learned a lot from videoing the first time around that this next one should be even better.
The next video will be 100 times better, in my opinion, just because, like what you just said, there was a lot of stuff we watched on this first video. And the first video, I think for our first video, was great.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information just packed into it. But this one's going to flow a lot better and be a lot better. Just some of that one video we learned.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
But say this next video with Bauer and Hux and iRay and Sons of Liberty is going to be a really good one. And if anybody out there has any editing advice,
yes,
please shoot it to us, because we like to go pew, pew, pew. And Landon's really good with technology, so he's going to know exactly what you're talking about. But neither one of us have any sort of editing experience other than small promo videos.
Yeah.
Pictures. Like I can, like Photoshop and stuff, I'm really good with that. But when it comes to videos, I don't know anything about it.
Dude, and that's the crazy thing is I took this video and all the videos that we took and just kind of like pieced them together. And it flows pretty good for what it was. And I was really impressed. But like, it's not to the quality that I would like to be at. But I think it's just going to take time to get there.
Well, we didn't really have a lot of B-roll because we didn't know we needed it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot, like, in between talking scenes. You could put some shooting scenes in there with music overlays and stuff like that, which I think we can figure out. But we didn't know how to do it, really.
Yeah, no.
So it's one of those things, like, it's definitely not going to be our best, but I feel like for our worst video, it's going to be it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how we started here. Like, the first podcast, we were like,
you look awkward as shit.
Yeah, not really. I'm a little nervous, but... And I think it's going to be funny. Like, I haven't went back and looked at it. We're 15 episodes in now. I want to go watch one of the first ones.
And what's funny is I remember looking up at that time, that first one, and I'm like, dude, we've been talking for like 45 minutes. And I look up there, we're like 14 minutes in. And now I look up there and I'm like, shit, we're an hour and 15 minutes in. Like, do we need to
stop?
Like, it just kind of
like that was like earlier, whatever. I was like, dude, we've made it 45 minutes and we haven't even touched on anything we wanted to touch on. We were just doing fitness.
I will tell you exactly what happened. We try to make this an hour and 15 to hour and 30 minutes long. We're really trying to focus on information to give people what they want, because that's what people has told us they liked. And Landon said, you know what? I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm going to talk about myself for 45 minutes. I'm not even going to ask my best friend how your day was. I'm not going to ask how your week was. You could have had a horrible week and fighting depression. I don't care. I'm talking about how great I am. That's what happened this episode.
That is true. It kind of did. Kind of did.
You know what, Landon? Out of all people, you deserve to have an episode where you just talk about yourself and brag on yourself. Because God knows I take every opportunity to brag on myself. So you definitely deserve at least one episode in your life where
one.
Dusty shuts up and Landon gets to talk about him. So I'm glad you had your moment.
I can appreciate
Don't
that.
ever let it happen again.
Yes, sir. won't happen.
Another shout out I do want to have. Let's just go ahead and start the shout outs of everybody that had us out. But another shout out I want to have is Juicy Media.
Oh, yeah.
That guy, he brought out with it Genesis 12. What
Yeah,
is
the
it, Gen
Genesis-
12?
Yeah, Gen 12.
So he brought out his 2 Genesis 12 shotguns to the shoot. I don't know if a gun has made me more rocked than shooting those 2 things. The cans on those were unbelievable. And they just look scary.
That was a HuxWerx can, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if you had caught that part.
But those things were, dude, I loved them. And I know, like, when it comes to tactical looking, I hate saying assault looking, but tactical looking rifles, people aren't going for shotguns. But for the price point of those, they are expensive, but I feel like very well worth it.
Oh yeah,
You go to any kind of shoot, or say you go to a clay shoot, and you pull out one of those, you are going to be the talk of the town. Like, and it was dope. And
They might run you out of there. You
you might say, pop, 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 pop. But Juicy, I don't know if I don't want to say his real name, so
Yeah, no, we'll leave that out for now.
he is
If he
gonna,
comes on, then
he
he
is
can-
going to come on a podcast. He told us he would. He wants to. We want him on here. But he gave us so much, not just the firearms itself and the way he had them set up. He left them there and let everybody shoot them.
Oh yeah, after
Cool ass dude. Go check him out on YouTube, Juicy Media. Go check him out on Instagram, same handle. But I mean, I just want to give him a individual shout out because we were asking him questions on YouTube. We were asking him questions on editing. We were asking him questions on firearms.
oh yeah,
And the dude sat there with a smile on his face and was like, dude, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Like, he is one of those. And I've only met him twice, talked to him a few times, but I do consider him a friend now. Like, the guy,
yep.
he is just a top-notch dude. And if anybody deserves to make it, he's one of them. So I wanted to give him a special plug and a special shout-out. Go check out his YouTube, subscribe, follow him on Instagram. The dude is awesome. He posts some gnarly-ass awesome videos. So go follow him, check him out.
Dude, his last one with the shotgun where they was testing. Sorry guys. Yep, just testing all of the shotguns, and they were shooting. I don't know how far it was. It was either 100 or 150 yards with a damn
With the slug.
5.5 inch slug
Yeah.
on a shotgun. I was like, or 5.5 inch barrel with a slug
With
in
a slug,
a
yeah.
shotgun. I was like, are you shitting me?
And it was dope. The video was
it
dope.
awesome.
And you can definitely go watch our video, then go watch his last video, and you can see what we're talking about with editing, because that dude, he puts out some awesome content.
Yeah.
But that video was like, everything he was doing in that was kind of insane. And it was making me laugh because he was going through multiple ammunitions, multiple shotgun shells. Let's
Yeah.
just put it that way. But multiple brands of ammunition, seeing if it would cycle, if it would run. The Gen 12 just fucking ate them.
It ate.
Ate them. There was nothing slowing that thing down. It was just cycling like pop, 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 pop. Never a hiccup.
Yeah. No,
Even the Benellis and stuff were
and that was a part that shocked me, was the Benelli wasn't cycling some of the stuff, and I was
some of the cheaper ammunition. I mean, don't get us wrong. The Benelli is a hell of a shotgun still, but with some of the cheaper ammunition, it was getting choked up and bogged down, where that Gen was just eating it. I'm talking like never slowed up whatsoever. Like I like watching videos and I'm like, there's no way that's going to work in that. And then the Gen 12, I honestly, whenever the Benelli choked up, I was like, all right, it's gonna have some faults. Never did.
yeah, it did never.
It was dope.
Did never slow down. I was like, holy crap.
I am excited about having him on the podcast though, because I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna slide my chair over here where you might just be able to see half of my beautiful face, and I'm just gonna ask a question and then lean out of the camera and let y'all's tism take over. Because you and him, As much as I hate to say it because you're my friend, I could see you and him becoming best friends because y'all's tisms intertwine.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to go rampant when it comes to firearms and stuff like that. And I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
Just don't replace me.
You won't. You can't be replaced.
Welcome back to episode 16 of Dropped Outdoors podcast with Landon and Juicy. Dusty's no longer with us. Dusty is now off the screen. He gets to say pause every once in a while to come in here to hand us waters.
Oh, shit. That's funny as hell right there. Oh, man. It was a good time, though.
So go ahead
If
and
y'all
give us...
haven't been... Oh, wait. I completely went somewhere else.
Go for it.
No. You go ahead.
I was going to say, before we get off, go ahead and give us a shout out one last time to the companies that had us out. I want to give us a shout out to Tactical Wolf as well as Tactical Snacks. Tactical-snacks.com. Go check them out. Great shit. Thank you for sending us some free snacks for us to test out. We have pictures we're going to be posting. I'll be linking them in Instagram and everything. So if you follow us on there, go check them out. Try some out. I'm telling you right now, I will probably be buying the protein gummies from now on. But if you just want to try out a snack, go buy you a box of the regular ones if you don't care about the protein. They are absolutely delicious. I'm not a huge sour guy, but those aren't that sour, and they taste delicious. But if you want to run us through some shout-outs that you wanted to give, especially Bauer and all them.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Is I was like, if y'all hadn't been by Bauer Precision ever, and you're into guns, you're a gun person, go to Bauer. Like, their shop is sick. They've got shit stacked on top of shit, and it's like anything you could want, it's in there. I think they said that they've got 2,800 suppressors in stock. So when
2,800 in stock, was exactly what they said.
Of course, if this bill
Hearing
passes,
Protection Act goes through,
if that goes through, you better hurry, because I mean that's gonna be a good place to pick some up because they're gonna go quick.
But say that passes, we don't have to wait for a tax stamp anymore,
or pay the tax stamp. That's $200.
That's $200 right there.
Yeah. So get in there and get your suppressors.
But say, and honestly, I would go ahead and start now because if you're already in the process and this thing goes through, you're probably going to be able to just go grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're already in the process. ATF don't have to approve it anymore. All you're going to have to do is go pick it up at that point.
Yep.
And so that 2,800, I promise you.
And you get your $200 back.
That's right. That 2,800 though, I promise you is going to go fast if it.
Oh yeah, if it passes, I don't give it a week before every one of them sold out.
Well, I mean, you even said if it passes, you're going to get some more.
Yeah, no, I'd probably go buy 3 or 4 of them at that point.
Just because it's that easy to go
that's
do,
just
and
me.
you get 3 or 4. I mean, you buy 5 of them, that's $1,000 you just saved by not having tax stamps that are going to the suppressors itself.
Yep, exactly.
So,
yep, get in there, get those checked out, or if you're not into guns and maybe you wanted to start shooting some, holler at us. Come out to the shoot with us. I'll drive. One of those deals. It's a great time. I mean, you get to try shit you've never shot before. You get to try a bunch of suppressors. You can look at the thermal scopes. I think next weekend is another one, which it's going to be long past by the time this comes out.
yeah. But if you're following us on Facebook or on Instagram, I try to post every time they post one. I try to share it and keep it on my story or take their post and post it myself so everybody can see it. So if you're following, just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Because you will see them when they pop up. If you want to go with somebody, like Landon said, hit us up. We will take you. There's something about gun people itself that even at those shoots, there's kids that are 5, 6 years old,
Yep.
up to 70, 80-year-old men and women. There's people that's never touched a gun before.
Yeah.
And there's people that are just absolute fanatics that every gun out there they own or they have shot a million times. But the cool thing is both sides of the spectrum get treated the same.
Oh, yeah.
Like you are treated like family when you go out there. They run you through everything. They make sure you're comfortable. They make sure you're safe. There's people out there shooting where they like, I'm going to go ahead and lay my hand on your back because it is going to push a little bit. It's not going to hurt. They break everything down.
Yeah.
Super comfortable. So like you said, if you've never been around guns and you want to get into it, hit us up. Come with us. You're going to love it.
Yeah. Yep. And they'll take care of you. They'll help you through the start to finish, what you're going to do, what's going to happen, the whole 9 yards. I think my favorite was still James. Old
with
cigar
a cigar.
guy.
We walked up. We made sure we surrounded him with a cigar hanging out of our mouth, and he just stopped talking to the person he was helping. He was like, "Man, that smells so good." And Landon just kind of like, "Huh?" And you should have seen the smile on his face. You bring James a cigar, he will love you forever. He smiled. I'm talking his earlobes raised up 6 inches with how big his smile was. It was awesome.
It was funny.
It was funny. He was like, "My guys, y'all are awesome."
Yo, but yeah, no, go check those guys out. Sons of Liberty Gunworks, iRay, HuxWerx, and Bauer, obviously.
Bauer is. I can't say enough good things about Bauer.
Yeah.
Because even the people that work there, they treat you like, whether it's your first time in or your 100th time in, they treat you like they've known you for years. Like,
Yeah,
they're
it's
good
crazy. And
people.
I mean, it's crazy because like they're still on the clock out there.
Yeah.
And just as nice as could be to everybody. It's a cool deal.
Like, this being our second shoot to go to with them and actually filming and stuff. Bro, we walked in and you would have thought we knew most of these guys for years. Like, James is a prime example. Like, "Oh, dude, let me back up over here. You can get down over here." So I could video and get good, clear footage.
Yeah.
Like moving people back just so we could get good footage. Like, and it's not just because we're filming. Like, he does, like, they're just nice people. Like,
Yeah.
let me be a convenience for you type situation. Everybody out there was that way.
Yeah.
And like, we walked up and there was people like coming up to shake our hands just because they saw us the last weekend we went to it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that there's something you can say about having to work a Saturday and still treating people like that. And like I said, it's not just us, it's everybody.
Yeah. No, I was a big fan of that, and there was free tacos.
I did not eat because I'm still doing my OMAD. I'm trying to hit this hard. And Landon's like, "Man, these tacos are delicious." And I'm like, "I bet they are." Can we go ahead? The only person I did not like was also from Bauer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That piece of shit that rubbed those churros in our face. It's a total joke. He was a super awesome dude too. But he had churros set next to his tent and had the audacity to offer us churros. And normally that would not be bad. But the fact that I wasn't eating until dinner and Landon is no sugar. You know how hard that was for a natural fatty to be like, "No, I don't want one of those delicious, soft, hot churros." So upsetting.
The cinnamon and the sugar.
Yeah, I
They're
told
just sitting
him
there baking in the sun.
I told him straight up, and he was like, "Hey, man, I got some churros over here. Y'all want one?" I was like, "I hate you." And he was like, "Why?" And we told him, and he died laughing. He was like, "They are delicious." So like, just started busting our chops. Like, so you mad at you still? Bauer, do better. Don't bring churros out to fat people when they're trying to diet. But it was cool. Bauer, I think Bauer is the one that paid for the tacos and the churros and everything.
I was gonna shout out the taco brand, but I was like, I'm pretty sure they were well paid for.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
showing
you
up.
can still shout them out. They
Yeah,
were.
I think it was OMG Tacos is what it was.
I'd say everybody there were talking about their tacos, so
was
they had
good.
to be pretty delicious. Like I said, I didn't try them because I'm dumb, but everybody there was talking about how delicious they were, and they were traditional style, like street tacos.
Oh yeah, street tacos.
They looked phenomenal, and the smell was freaking amazing. Walking down the hill whenever they were freshly cooking everything, I was like, "Man, today's gonna suck. Today is gonna suck," and it did.
Oh yeah,
It did on that part. I should have ate one just to say I did.
yeah. Just one. It's just a taco.
Put a little
Just some
lime on it.
steak and yeah.
But that's my problem. I eat one. Next thing I know, I wake up naked in a field somewhere off of a freaking Berea overdose. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey.
Like, I'm in on it.
It's the reason I didn't have a churro. I could see it just been perfect for 79 days, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope.
17 churros down, comatose in the truck, not knowing, drooling on yourself.
I needed Dr. Pepper to revive me.
All right, well, let's go ahead and cut it off there.
All right, we're wrapping it up.
Again, Bauer, Sons of Liberty, HuxWerx, iRay, Juicy Media,
On YouTube.
YouTube, and Instagram. Big shout out to y'all. All the brands, thanks for having us out. Juicy, thanks for helping out so much. And then a special shout out to Tactical Snacks. Again, tactical-snacks.com. Absolutely delicious. Thank you for sponsoring this week's podcast and sending us some of these delicious snacks. I honestly think I'm going to take probably 2 boxes to Colorado with us on the bear hunt.
I would.
Just to have them up there. I mean, I'll reach out to them and see if they want to sponsor that trip too. But even if they say no, I'm probably buying 2 boxes just to take, because as far as a snack goes, 95 calories, 8 grams of protein.
Oh yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Can't beat that deal.
Especially since we can just grab them, throw them in our ruck, and just be up in the mountains eating gummies. I'm in on that, and not the good, not the fun kind of gummies.
The ones you go and buy up in Colorado while we're there.
Yeah, I'm going to do traditional, good gummies, not Colorado gummies, not the funny gums. But episode 15, that is a wrap. I appreciate everybody watching again. Please comment. Even if you want to make fun of us, go for it. You want to talk shit, go for it. We love that. I mean, as you can tell on Instagram and TikTok, whenever you talk shit to me, I'm going to talk shit back. And I've honestly gained probably 10 or 15 followers just from just coming back at people. And I don't mean it in a bad way, but if you can talk shit, you can get shit talked to you. Yep. And I enjoy that stuff. Like I do it with my friends. If I like you, I'm talking shit to you. If I don't talk shit to you and I'm super nice all the time, I don't like you that much. That's just
probably ought to be nervous.
That's just how it is. And you can ask Landon, whenever somebody isn't talking shit to me, I'm instantly like, I don't think he likes me. And Landon's like, no, dude, he likes you. I'm like, no. Like, I said something to him earlier and he looked like he was going to cry. Like, not a sensitive person. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, by all means, talk shit to us.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah. And please, if you are loyal and listen to this all the time, go subscribe to us on YouTube. We're really trying to build that, and we are about to start dropping a lot of gear reviews, a lot of firearms reviews. We're going to do in-studio reviews as well as shooting reviews.
Yeah.
We're going to do torture tests. I'll even give you a little sneak peek. I'm thinking about buying a vehicle, and we are going to destroy it. We are going to see what calibers, what shotgun shells, what everything it takes to basically penetrate and destroy a vehicle.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fun. What's better than guns and destruction?
Can't beat it.
With that being said, see y'all next time on episode 16. Y'all have a good one.
Later.